The Roman Empire built roads that still exist, aqueducts that still carry water, laws that still shape governments today. At its absolute peak, the greatest civilization the ancient world had ever produced, it was also quietly making every single person in it a little bit less intelligent. Not through war, not through famine, not through any enemy Rome could see, name, or fight, through the air they breathed. When we picture Rome's fall, the answers feel obvious. Military overreach, political corruption, barbarian invasions. But what if Rome wasn't just collapsing from the outside, but being quietly, chemically hollowed out from within during the very years it seemed most unstoppable? In January 2025, scientists published a study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. They didn't excavate Roman ruins. They didn't analyze ancient bones. They drilled into Arctic ice cores from Greenland. And in the layers from Rome's Golden Age, the Pax Romana, 27 BC to AD 180, they found something that shouldn't have been there. Lead. Enormous amounts of it. More than 500,000 tons of lead had been released into the atmosphere during Rome's greatest years. That lead didn't stay near the mines. Wind carried it everywhere. Every city, every village, every farm in the Roman world. But before we get to what it did to them, there's something you need to know first, because it makes everything darker. Rome knew lead was dangerous. Pliny the Elder, the Roman naturalist who died in AD 79, explicitly called white lead powder a deadly poison. He wrote it down. And yet, Romans used lead acetate to sweeten their wine. They piped their water through lead pipes. They lined their cooking vessels with it. They wore it on their faces as cosmetics. And those luxuries were the privileges of the wealthy, the senators, the generals, the emperors, the architects building the infrastructure of civilization. The people running the most powerful empire in the world were poisoning themselves most heavily. At the dinner table, every evening. They were the most informed people in the empire, and they could not see what was happening to them. Joseph McConnell at the Desert Research Institute used 3 ice cores to reconstruct atmospheric lead levels over Europe, 500 BC to 600 AD. They modeled how those concentrations became blood lead levels in children, then applied modern IQ linkages. The result? An average IQ reduction of 2.5 to 3 points across the entire population of the Roman Empire. Every general, every senator, every engineer, all of them, during Rome's most consequential years, operating with slightly less cognitive capacity. And this wasn't happening during Rome's decline. It was happening during Rome's greatest years. The lead levels didn't peak during Rome's collapse. They peaked during the Pax Romana, 200 years of peace and maximum power. And as Rome declined, as mining slowed, the lead in the ice cores dropped too. The empire's peak and its pollution peak were the same peak. This is a correlation, not a verdict. But it places a question on the table that history has never quite asked before. What decisions might have been made differently by slightly sharper minds? The Romans had no way to detect what was happening. No atmospheric modeling, no blood lead tests, no ice cores from the future to warn them. They just lived and breathed and built the greatest empire the ancient world had ever seen, while something invisible quietly blunted the intelligence of every generation growing up inside it. We have lead regulations now. We removed it from gasoline. We banned it from paint. But here's the thing about Rome that should sit with you. The Romans weren't ignorant in a general sense. They were brilliant, understanding engineering, law, medicine at levels that astonish us today. And they still couldn't see what was quietly being done to them by the world they had built. They were too inside it to see it. Which raises a question I will not answer for you, because I don't think anyone can answer it yet. What is in our air right now, in our water, our food, our screens, that a scientist 2,000 years from now will trace back and say, they didn't know, but they should have asked? The question isn't whether we're smarter than Rome. The question is, what are we not noticing right now?